All right, Chelsea fans. So this is just a clip of our match review for Sheffield United. So if you want to watch the full or listen to the full episode, go to your podcast feed, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to it. Hit it up. It's wonderful. We had Naz on. We talked about an amazing 4-1 victory over Sheffield. So get stuck in.
All right. Coming out of the break, we got Tammy continuing to show up. Tammy is continuing to not let us forget about him after the Timo Werner signing. A lot of people probably assumed he'll be back up, won't really see much of him. Apparently him and Timo can play. So Dan, kicking it over to you at OptaJoe with the tweet, giving us some life, some belief.
Yeah, so 4, only against Wolves 6 and Nottingham Forest 5, as Tammy Abraham scored more English league goals than he has versus Sheffield United, 4-4 leveler. And, I think it's great. I think this is great to see that, there was a lot of players who, were immediately, the eraser was kind of won over their name from the 11 last season. And a new name was penciled in because of all of these signings. And lo and behold, the first injury we have of Pulisic with a hamstring injury that puts him out of the match, or puts him out of an extended series of matches, that Timo goes to the left, Tammy goes up top, and then Tammy, his overall game is really evolving into that, Naz, of being a complete English striker, someone who can impact the game from a hold-up play, from an ability to score, from an ability to assist. He is really, just like Ziyech is kind of pulling the strings, Tammy makes himself available to be an outlet for others to play off of and combine extremely well with.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that analogy you used about rubbing his name off, and then with the new signings, he was one of the first names to be rubbed out. And he didn't end last season particularly well either. He was brilliant, 18 goals, still Chelsea's top scorer last year, but certainly didn't come into this season in form. So I think a lot of people had sort of turned their back on him to a little bit of an extent. His contract is sort of still up in the air despite an extra year being added on recently. When he hit I think he hit a 15 goal mark and an appearance mark to automatically renew his contract for a year, which is good news for Chelsea. But I think still he's probably due a new deal at some point in the near future. And all that, I think that sort of people sort of thought, maybe we can afford to lose him. And Lampard didn't have to choose Tammy Abraham at all. He had to take his chance because Callum Hudson-Odoi and Olivier Giroud are waiting there, and they want that chance so badly. So he's really taken it. I mean, man, he scored or assisted in every 50 minutes or so this season. I think it's even better than that now after the weekend. So 4 goals, 5 assists. He's become the sort of creator almost, the complete striker. You're looking at somebody like Harry Kane who, at Tottenham, he gives Son more goals almost than he scores himself. And maybe that's where Tammy's going to sort of change as well, with all these inverted wingers that Chelsea have. Pulisic likes to cut in on his strong foot on the left flank. So does Werner. Ziyech likes to do it on the right. So, that gives you the chances to sort of be the pivot, the one who lays it off, who has that target man play. And, I wasn't sure that he had that in him at one point. I thought Giroud was way better than him. But, gradually over last season, I think maybe like December time, I started to really think that, his game was coming together. I remember being at Brighton away where last season, you probably won't remember it, but I think it was a New Year's Day game. I was really tired. I'd done like a New Year's night out and then tried to go to an early kickoff the next day. It was like the fixture list was against me big time. But and it was like not even a special game, Chelsea drawing away with Brighton. But I just remember it was a really tough day for Chelsea, and Tammy's hold-up play was sensational. And I was like, I kind of like something, sometimes in these games where you might switch off a little bit, you find something out about a player. And I think he was learning about his body last season. He was learning how big he was, how strong he was, how he could do it in a fast-paced league. And I thought that, last season, if one area of his game improved a lot, it wasn't his finishing, it was his hold-up play. And this season, I think that Lampard giving him those runner games last year has sort of created a player who trusts himself a little bit more, and the mentality to come through, be having your name, erased off the the team sheet, as Dan says, and come back from that. I think that also shows his mentality. I think he's a great guy to have in the dressing room. He's got a great personality. One of my friends, Vishali, interviewed him after the game, and she said the confidence is exuding off him after the match, and that he's really looking upwards in the table as well.
I mean, I think the personality continues to shine through for me. Like you saw it after the peach of a cross that Reese put in midweek for him, and he just turned around and looked at Reese, pointed at him, and said, "My boy," about 1,500 times before they went over and hugged. And it's like, okay, I think everyone in this Chelsea squad realizes there's so much talent that if you play selfishly, that's not the easiest way to score goals, right? The easiest way to score goals is play unselfishly, to serve up easy passes to each other. And he was on the receiving end of that too today. Because obviously we talked about the Ziyech pass that Kovacic cuts back for him, and he kind of puts away. Slight deflection on that, obviously, but I think it's still a good goal. If he's able to do his job, if he's able to track back, if he's able to distribute effectively, which was the distribution piece was more of my worry last year, not the physical side. If he's able to do all that and just get into the box, Brandon, where he can find some space, he could score another 15 goals this year. There's going to be plenty of opportunity for him. It's just the unselfishness, I think, is what I love. He is selflessness, I should say, is what we are starting to see, kind of as an overall theme to help gel the squad.
Look, he has just under 300 minutes played in the Premier League, and I'm on Smarter Scout right now. His disrupt style is a 99. Like, just shows you
Yep.
a different side of the game. So super interesting. Without a quick shout to Timo Werner, continuing to score, being clinical, not hesitating, a stone cold killer, absolute professional. Like, love Timo.
He's not going to miss those chips very often. Just throwing that out there.
Nope.
That one off the bar was impressive too, where he got found in the corner and almost made a little bit of a goal of the month contribution there.
Look, even just being aware and quick to react when that ball ricocheted in behind the back line, ready to pounce. He is on it all the time. And one thing, and not to pick on a certain Spanish striker that didn't do well a couple years ago, but is now in Italy.
You're really leaving that one to mystery there.
Timo's always on
Morata.
side. Timo gets back on sides. He's ready. A lot of times you see strikers and the play's not really there. They're kind of like in their own head, jogging back up. He's ready. He's on sides. He's ready to go at all times, looking for the ball. He's engaged. So absolutely brilliant. But Naz with the tweet of the day yesterday, and I'm not even saying that because you're here.